Welcome to FM Facebook Live. Thanks for joining us. My name is Tori, and today I am joined by Nick Winograd.
Hi, guys.
Hi. So today's topic, we're going to be going over the FM time zone. And as always, the two most valuable things that we could possibly possess are our ideas and the time that we can carry them out. So today's and every day's live series is designed to give you the ideas so that you can use them during this time. As always, we do have a couple recommended topics for you. So we recommend that you head over to the FM Discovery Center after the presentation is done, fluidmechanics.net/discovery center. The two topics that we are recommending this week, number one, using FM time splits to achieve your goals. And number two, creating buffered training time with FM time splits. So again, these are two videos that'll be fantastic supplements to what we're talking about today. Head over to the website so that you can check those out. Now, as always, we also want to kind of orient ourselves to where we are in terms of the cornerstones of performance. So today's topic, the time zone, is really another one of these synergy topics. It's actually going to be covering a little bit of everything, especially brain, technique, energy systems, and even some strength and flexibility. So Nick, take it away.
All right. My name is Nick, and I'll be telling just a quick little story to start us out. So I'm going to say that we're going to have three different people, right? We're going to have yourself, Jim, and Bob, and we're going to be climbing a mountain, all right? So it's going to be a longer trip. So we're going to have our food, we're going to have water, and we're going to have clothing, and we're going to separate them out into backpacks, all right? So I'm going to take some water with me. I have Bob taking some food, and then Jim is going to take some clothing, all right? So we're walking up the mountain, everything's going good, enjoying the views. And all of a sudden, Bob trips, right? Bob trips and he hurts his leg. So I decide, Bob, I know that you have the water. Let me take that water backpack from you. Let your leg kind of heal, rest up a little bit, and we'll keep going. So now I have the food and water. We have Jim who's carrying the clothing bag, and Bob is going along, just letting his leg heal. All right, so we're walking along, and it's a pretty long mountain, and eventually Bob's leg heals up a little bit. All right, so Bob's feeling better now, but he doesn't say anything to me. I remember I have both backpacks. He doesn't really say anything to me, and in fact, he's actually pretending that he's still hurt. So he's walking along, he's limping, and he's still acting like he's hurt. So what he really did was, like I said, I'm taking both bags. Jim's taking his own bag, and Bob's just kind of almost taking advantage of the situation. All right. So let's kind of give a different scenario, and we'll kind of call Bob 2 for a second. All right. So Bob 2, after he gets hurt, and I take his backpack. Once he starts feeling better, he goes, Nick, I'm feeling a little bit better today. Let me take that bag back off of you. All right. That's what like a good teammate would do. When one person kind of struggles, someone steps up, takes the weight, and then kind of transitions back. All right. So kind of how can this relate through to you? So let's say you're at practice or something and coach says, hey, who's going to put the kickboards away? Or can someone help me put the kickboards away? What kind of a teammate are you? Are you going to be Bob 1 where you're going to say, let me wait for someone else to put it away? Or are you going to be Bob 2 and say, coach, I got it. All right. Or let's say you're in a classroom, are you going to answer the question, or are you going to let someone else answer? Or I guess nowadays a little more practical one. Let's say your mom, she's tired after everything and she cooks dinner, and you could tell she's a little bit tired. And you could say, Mom, let me help you out today. Let me clean the dishes away. I know you cooked dinner. I know you had a hard day. Let me take that weight off of you and I'll do it. So the big kind of, I guess, theme to the story is, again, what kind of a teammate are you? Are you going to be Bob 1 who, takes advantage of the situation, not really the best teammate, kind of lets other people carry him on? Or are you going to be Bob 2 where you finally step in and say, I'm ready to go. I can kind of keep doing my own thing. So the next thing that I would like to kind of go over with you guys, some of you who have worked with me know this, other people do not. But I actually used to be a swimmer for fluid mechanics. So I started swimming when I was I think 5, maybe 4. It started out as a little hobby for me. My parents just wanted me to learn how to swim. And the next thing you know, I was pretty competitive. And I think around 7 years old was the first time that I joined fluid mechanics. So I started taking some lessons. So I kind of have an interesting situation where I have been both a swimmer for fluid mechanics and now an employee. So, I'm a consultant. And it allows me to kind of see both sides. So today, what we're going to be talking about is going to be FM time zone. All right. And we're going to talk about how to use FM time zone to dominate your competition. All right. And remember, I use these tools myself. So I'm going to be talking a little bit more on my firsthand experience as to how these tools actually helped me. All right, so we're going to be going over 3 different tools. The first tool is going to be Progress Calculator, and I'm going to explain how it helped me. I'm going to go over a little bit how it works and then the benefits. After Progress Calculator, I'm going to go over goal setting, and then lastly, my personal favorite, FM time splits. All right, so let me show you how these tools work. All right, so let's start out with the Progress Calculator. All right. This tool, very simple, very easy to use. It's essentially just going to track how you're doing compared to a different time that you're measuring. So I really started using these tools heavily, probably my back half of senior year, and especially into college. So every year my college meet was around mid-February. So let's say I had a meet, 2 years ago or last year, and I'm going to be doing the 100 breaststroker. I was a 100 breaststroker. So let's say I was 58, all right, double O. And then I swam a meet this February, and let's say I went 57 double O, all right? So what this tool does is it's going to track and see how much progress or not progress did I actually have. So you're going to see it has a 1.7% progress. So I'm actually off track. All right. Remember, at fluid mechanics, we always recommend 2.5 to 5% progress year over year. And especially if you're looking to swim into college, it's really important to kind of keep this trend going. So let's just say that hypothetically in this situation, that's what I did. I can sit here and say, something's not really right with my swimming. I need to fix it. Personally, I really liked this tool because my dad, he was a little bit of a heavy swimmer in the sense that he really liked to swim for me almost. Let's say I just made like a silvers cut. He was already looking at golds. He was looking at like, juniors and everything. But that's not really realistic in some sense. So for me, I liked to just kind of see how I'm doing compared to everything. But it's also really important because it can show you, like I said, in this situation that I just did, I was 1.7%, and that's not quite that 2.5%. So that shows that I need to change something in my swimming to kind of keep that progression going. So it's a great tool just to see, again, like kind of see where you're going. And let's just say, kind of for hypotheticals, I was a 58.2. You can see here that I'm actually in stagnation. So I'm in the plateau zone. So again, this tool is really good just to show the progress that you're having in swimming. Next tool that I'm going to go over, like I said, will be goal setting. Now, this tool is a great tool, especially in the off season, right before a new season starts up to go over. So right now is a very good time to actually look at these tools because, like I said, we haven't really had any pool time, unfortunately, so you can kind of get a nice reset on your season. So again, I'm going to go over breaststroke, unfortunately, for people who don't like breaststroke. I was a breaststroker, but these tools really work for any stroke. It doesn't really matter what stroke or event you're going over. So let's say I was a 58 again, all right? That number seems to be coming back a little bit. And I want to set a goal for next season, all right? Now, the goal percentage is year over year, but if you're only doing half a year or whatever, even a couple months, it will kind of applicate to the same way. So I have a 58, that's my current time. And let's say, I want to try to get 3.5%, all right? It's the 2.5 to 5. I'm gonna try to kind of get in that middle ground. And the start date's gonna be today, but my meet is gonna be in February. Remember, it's gonna calculate the year over year and it'll adapt the way it needs to. So it's gonna show me right here, oops. It's going to show me that in order to drop that 3.5%, I need to go a 56.6 to get my goal. All right. For me, this tool was really beneficial in the sense that, like I said, after each college meet that I would have, I would just reset my goal for next year, and it gave me a measurable target to hit for the next year. It wasn't like, okay, you know, I went a 58. Let's try to just go for like a 55 or something. Because let's say we'll go to the 5%, we'll see what that is. That's a 56.0. So if I was trying to go for 55.0, I'm actually looking at, you know, a goal that's almost 10% ahead of what I need to. And that's not something that's really necessarily, I mean, it's achievable, but it's not really like a goal that I would want to set, because I want to be within that 2.5 to 5%. I don't want to set a goal for myself that's going to be really hard to achieve, and then if I don't get it, I'm going to kind of be a little, you know, sad about it. And on the contrary side, you know, let's say I set a goal that's too easy for myself. I'm a 58, and let's say I only want to go 57.7, right, at 2.5%, excuse me, a 57.0. So again, that means I wouldn't have set myself a goal I would have set myself a goal that's too easy to hit. So goal setting really lets you hit that time that you need to keep that progress going. And like I said earlier, if you're planning on swimming in college, it's really important to kind of hit that 2.5 to 5% year-over-year progression, because that's something that college coaches really like to see. And the last tool, which is my personal favorite, is going to be time splits. All right. So I'm a type of swimmer, and not just swimmer, I guess person as a whole, who's very energetic. All right. I'm very competitive. So when the race starts, I'm going. So like I was doing my races, and around sophomore year of high school, I started to kind of hit almost a plateau. And the reason was, and I didn't know this at the time, but the reason was I just wasn't swimming my race properly. And what I mean by that is, if I was doing 100, the first 25, I'm going all out. Second 25, I'm going all out. And by the time I'm on the third 25 and into that 100, I mean, I'm pretty tired. I'm a sprinter. I'm not a distance swimmer. So I really had to use my energy properly, and I wasn't doing it. And it wasn't really until I started using time splits that I was able to kind of break past that. So let's just go with this time split tool. Let me show you how we do it. So I'm going to show some freestyle today. We'll go past a little breaststroke. And let's say I want to go a 50-point double O. All right. You'll hear coaches sometimes say, all right, you know, Nick, I want you to just go all out that first bit, or I want you to just attack that second lap. But that doesn't, again, I'm a very analytical person. I like to know exactly what I need to do. To me, that doesn't tell me necessarily what I need to do. I like to physically have a definite target. So I want to go 50-point double O, and you're going to see here, this race is, or this tool is going to split out my race the exact way that a world-class athlete would swim. All right. So the first lap is 11.0. I have the start, so it's going to be a little faster. And then you're going to see 12.7, 13.2, and 13.0. All right. So it really paces out my race. And what's really neat about this tool is the actual split. So let's say I swim a race, and if you're a parent and you film the race, and let's say these are splits you have to go, you can put what their actual time is. So let's say I went out in an 11.3, and let's say then I was like a 12.8, and then I started getting a little tired, 14.0, and let's say a 13.2 again. And you can see here, it says differences greater than 1% are significant. So what that really is saying is I was negative 2.7. So I was out too slow. My second lap, I hit right where I needed to be. Third lap, you can really see something happened. Right? I was, again, way too slow. And then that fourth lap, again, I was a little too slow. Now, prior to using this tool, my splits were more something along these lines. And I'll show you kind of where the true benefit of this tool is going to lie. So I was going out way too fast, and then I was coming back and I was dying. So, you know, this is just a kind of hypothetical, but this is generally what I was doing for a few years, really, until I was able to kind of use this tool and break past that. So again, these tools are really helpful in a lot of senses. Another benefit really of this time splits tool is it's going to give you measurable targets to hit at practice. So let's say I want to swim, you know, my 100 breaststroke, and I really want to go a 55.0. That's great, but how am I going to do it? So here's my splits, and at practice now I know if a coach puts up a set on the board, and let's say it's, you know, 5 100 breaststrokes, and I have a couple minutes rest in between, I'm going to try to pace my race this way. I'm going to try to go out in that 12-1, come back in a 14-0, then a 14-5, and a 14-3. So it gives you something to actually do in practice yourself, to kind of work towards that. So like I said, I use these tools. They really did change my swimming, especially with the time splits. Really, all of them really changed my swimming. And I really enjoyed using them. So what I would like to share with you guys is we are actually releasing the FM Fast Track, all right? So if you want to use these tools, you can go to www.fluidmechanics.net /join FM Fast Track, or you can send us an email at swim@fluidmechanics and just say FM Insider, and then we can send you the link. All right, these tools are $129 per year. So that's like a little over $10 a month, but it's really going to transform the way you swim. And also to keep in mind that we're not just talking about, when we talk about the Fast Track, the 3 tools I went over. We also have race mapping. We have some college pipeline. So this is a great bundle of packages that's really going to transform your swimming, right? You think about how much time you dedicate towards swimming. I mean, swimming is a sport that I think requires a lot of dedication. Anyone who has swam, from a parent standpoint, from a swimmer standpoint, from a coach's standpoint, there is a lot of dedication involved in your swimming. And like I said, just for $129 a year, you're going to get these tools, and they can really change the way that you swim and the way you think about how you're swimming. All right. So thank you guys very much. And then I'll pass it back now to Tori.
All right, so next week, we're going to be working on a topic called banking on swimming, which is going to help you get a whole lot more out of your team's in-water training program. So definitely check us out next week. And in the meantime, thank you so much for joining us. Let us know how you liked today's show, share it with a friend, and we definitely highly recommend that you take a look at that Fast Track. So again, the link is in the description of this video. You can go directly to the page. Information about what is included in the Fast Track, everything that you can get is in there. And if you're interested in asking any other questions, let us know, shoot us an email. And in the meantime, have a great rest of your Sunday, and we will see you soon.
Thanks for joining.